Hello there, ladies and gents, builder of the blockchain community, and the buidl has been hard over the last week. As usual, I'm your host George, and over the past week, with some very interesting and noteworthy updates from probably all the major building players that are around. So Etherlime has new things, Truffle has new things, Web3.js have new things. Quorum have released new versions, Slither has released a new version. So without any further ado, let me get you through the different things that have happened over the last week. And the first and probably the biggest update that is there comes from Etherlime. Etherlime now has a new version 1.1.0 and has multiple improvements, new features, and bug fixes. So I'm going to quickly run you through the different things. So there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different things that are new in Etherlime. First things first, there is a new coverage in Etherlime. As you know, Etherlime had its coverage based on SolCover. The library had some inefficiencies and was not really maintained and was not really up to date. So Etherlime has moved from SolCover to the support of 0x coverage tool. So Etherlime now ships with 0x coverage tool, and everything that you expect from the 0x coverage tool you can expect from Etherlime. You have your in-console, in-terminal reports, you have your HTML reports just by running the Etherlime coverage command, much like you have done previously. Another thing that is in Etherlime is that actually there is now integration with Snark.js, library for zero knowledge, developed by Identry. And this is a major thing for zero knowledge app developers, because they can now use Etherlime to manage both their smart contracts and their zero knowledge dApps. So you can do things like compiling circuits, you can generate circuits, you can generate proofs, verifier scripts, on-chain verifier smart contracts, and you can of course deploy them on any network that you wish. So now you can use Snark.js with Etherlime and have one tool for both of these things. Next thing from Etherlime is the flattener. You can now easily just flatten your smart contracts into one big file and of course take them to Etherscan and verify them. And for those of you that want to just test out some projects or just want to dip their toe into smart contract development, there is actually an IDE embedded into Etherlime. It is based on System Glitch Solidity IDE, the Vue.js based IDE. So when you type in Etherlime IDE, a modified version of Solidity IDE that is connected with Etherlime is going to be run, and you will be able to modify, compile, deploy, and click around your smart contracts directly from this web-based IDE that is just easily spawned from Etherlime by a single command. So now you can also develop using this just by spawning this IDE through Etherlime. Also, Etherlime now has support for Viper contracts. You can compile Viper contracts. It will actually not change anything in the API, but if in your contracts folder you have files that have an extension of .vy, these are going to be compiled with Viper. The only prerequisite is for you to have a running Docker daemon, and Etherlime handles the rest. Etherlime is going to pull the Viper compiler images and going to run and compile the Viper smart contracts against it. And last but not least, there is now a React shape, so you can start your own React based dApp very easily through Etherlime and do all of your development directly there. So yeah, major things happening with Etherlime, and to test it out and see how this works for you. Of course, when we talk about Etherlime, we have to talk about our probably the most active in terms of releases team of Truffle, and again, Truffle has a new version 5.0.11. It has improvements over the debugger. There are more things like program counter that you can see there, and of course there is an improvement over the output of the migration files. Now, when you migrate through Truffle, you'll be able to see also the block number and block timestamp that the migrations were run at. Another new piece of software, more like an upgrade, comes from Quorum, the private version of Ethereum developed by JP Morgan. So they have released version 2.2.3, 2.2.2 and 2.2.3. And with some improvements over the previous versions. So the major enhancements come in the form of updated Geth node version. So Quorum is based on Geth, and there is improved version of Geth that is running there. There is improved configuration, mostly in terms of transaction limits that can be configured through the Genesis block, and there is improved download and synchronization time when you are adding or creating a network through Quorum network. And these are the things that came from the frameworks and from the networks. Of course, there are a couple of more things in terms of libraries. Web3.js has a new version, buidl 55. Similar to the previous updates that we've been having over the last weeks. There is this release contains predominantly bug fixes. And there are some enhancements in terms of the get accounts function, where the get accounts now is going to first check whether some local unlocked accounts before asking the node to provide the accounts to be used for through Web3.js. So minor improvement on this front. And last but not least, Slither, the static analyzer tool that we talked a couple of weeks ago, has released a new version. 0.6.2. The major thing is the continuation, the update of the Embark integration with Slither, the support for Embark. And in terms of detectors, there is an improved detector for upgradability contracts, so that it can give you better tips and better analysis on upgradable smart contracts. So pretty much this was in terms of existing tools and networks and frameworks that are there. There is one new interesting piece of content, which comes in the form of Visual Studio Code IDE plugin for generation of Solidity comments. It's called SolDoc. And you can install it through VS Code Marketplace, and you can run it against your smart contracts, and it's going to generate for you Ethereum NetSpec compatible comments on top of your functions, on top of your constructs, so that you can easily document your smart contracts. And like always, one last piece of news and content that I want to share with you guys comes in the form of a video by a popular channel known as What the Funk, and they have created a video on one of my favorite libraries out there, ethers.js. And they have recorded this video called "Why Should You Use Ethers.js?" So there is a very nice overview of Ethers.js and a very quick showing around of how you can connect through Ethers.js to through a network. So if you're not familiar with Ethers.js, or you just want to brush up your Ethers.js, watch the What the Funk video and learn more about ethers.js. And truth be told, this was everything that I wanted to share with you guys for this week. As always, don't forget to subscribe, click on the notification bell in order for you to know as soon as we release the dev updates and the dev digest. As always, keep sending us your info about news that are worthy. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at gspasov, and just keep building. And thank you for watching this video. See ya.